alchemy. Alchemy is always represented by orange. They can be orange spell packets, bright orange. A vial like this, if you've ever seen orange wax vials that you bite into, anything like that. They all have to be bright orange, and all alchemy fizz reps must be labeled. This one's not. This one's illegal. There's no labeling anywhere on it for what kind of alchemy it is. Now you can either label it by taking a Sharpie and writing, sleep poison on it, or you can actually take the tag and tape it on here. Every time that you leave your cabin, if you have 10 potions on it, then you have to have 10 vials, 10 fizz reps for your 10 tags. If you don't, then you don't have it. You can't recycle fizz reps until you go back to your cabin and relabel everything. Every time you leave your cabin, you have to leave with as many fizz reps as you are with tags for alchemy. If you don't, then you don't have them. If you want to reuse the same fizz reps, that's fine. You just have to go back to your cabin. For instance, if you have 10 Bob's Pick-Me-Ups, and you use all 10, the person you give them to doesn't actually drink your fizz rep, then you can take those same fizz reps back to your cabin and either relabel them if you want 10 different alchemy vials, or you can keep them as 10 Bob's Pick-Me-Ups if you have 10 more tags that go with your fizz reps. In your cabin, you may have as many alchemy tags as you want without fizz reps. However, be aware that if someone does cabin raid you, then they will take your tags, but they have to fizz rep them if they ever choose to take that alchemy outside their cabin as well. And finally, one of the most important rules, almost as important as safety, is consideration of other players, and specifically religion. Don't use any religious symbols, don't wear crosses, pentagrams, anything else, don't make that the symbol of your group. Don't talk about religion. There are no gods and goddesses in this game. If you have a tattoo, obviously we can't do anything about that. We'd prefer if you cover it up. Don't wear any religious symbols as your character. Feel free to wear them when you get to the site, but be aware that when you get into the game, then you're going to have to remove them. In general, just try and be respectful and considerate of other people. If someone asks you to stop hitting them so hard, don't take it as an offense to you. That maybe they're more sensitive, or maybe you have a harder weapon than others. Just try and work with other people. There's no reason to get mad or angry. Again, don't make fun of or call people out about either their religion or gender or politics or anything else. Save that for actions as your character. In play, you can be as racist or sexist as you want to be. Keep in mind that this is an abbreviated form of the rulebook. This is what you absolutely need to know. Please go actually read the rulebook. I promise it's short. It's only 50 pages. You should get through it pretty quick. But if you can't read it for whatever reason, this is a good intro. Okay, life and death is probably the most important part of playing your character, other than roleplay. Anytime that you have a positive amount of hit points, then you are living. You may have other stats effects, but you're living. If someone were to go triage, you respond with living, or if you're in a position to resist, then you can say resist. Most characters wear armor. If you're wearing armor and you get hit with a physical type spell, it will protect you. It will take damage first. This is a very, very small piece of armor. It will not protect me very well at all. It may have maybe 2 armor points, and if I were to get hit with 2 points of damage, then my armor would take it, not me. It wouldn't go to my body points or hit points. Now, armor can never go below 0. If it goes to 0, if this is worth 2 armor points, and I were to get hit with 10 points of damage, then it would go to 0, and I would take 8 body points. Armor has to be repaired by a smith, or someone knowledgeable. And hit points, everyone has a maximum amount of hit points. There are certain spells that can go past armor and directly hit your body or your hit points. Don't worry, you'll be notified when this happens. Everybody can take a certain amount of damage, their hit points, represented by their hit points, before they go to Bleeding Death status. Bleeding Death status is when you are at 0 hit points. If I were to have 5 hit points and I get hit by 10 points of damage, I don't go to -5. I can only go to 0. When I'm at 0, I'm considered bleeding to death. Bleeding to death is a status I stay at for 1 minute, or 60 seconds. At this point, I can be gotten up by any normal healing. If you're at 0, any regular healing just about will get you back up. If you get healed by a 1st level light spot spell called Stitch, then you would be healed 5 points, and you would be up at 5 hit points, unless your max was lower than that. You can only be healed up to your maximum hit points. If no one heals you while you're at bleeding to death status, no one heals you at all for 60 seconds or a minute, then you will go to a new status called dying. You also go to this status when you've been subject to a killing strike. You skip your bleeding to death count and are immediately at dying status. Dying status is also revealed by triage. You will be at dying for 4 minutes. Regular healing cannot get you back up from this status. Alchemy and healing effects that do bring people up from dying status will be noted in their spell descriptions, and the caster will tell you when that sort of healing will pick you back up. Otherwise, you will wait there for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, if nothing else is done to revive you, then you are dead. At this point, your body dissipates, turns into a pile of dust, and you put on a white headband because you are no longer there. All of your in-game items, everything from potions to coin to piece of silver ore that you may have, anything in-game, you drop wherever you lay dying. If you have any normal weapon phys reps, you can take those with you because they are your phys reps. However, when you resurrect, they are not weapons yet. They still don't exist, you still have to go buy a new weapon. When you are dead, you put on your white headband, you go immediately to the gaming center. At the gaming center, they will log you in and give you a new life ticket and everything else. Dying subtracts 1 life from your life total. Every character starts up with 3 lives. You get 1 every 3rd level. At 4th level, you will have 4, and so on. You can also earn them through extraordinary in-game measures. If you ever run out of lives, your character is permanently dead, and we'll strive not to have that happen, so don't go rushing into battle, necessarily, unless you're willing to risk your life. And when you resurrect, you lose 15 minutes of in-game memory as your character, from the moment that you went to bleeding to death status. So if another character kills your character, then you're probably not going to remember that, unless you took 15 minutes, longer than 15 minutes to kill you. If you have any suggestions for other tutorials that you'd like to see enacted for you, please feel free to DM or email a producer or director, and we'll see that it happens for you. Thank you for watching this new player tutorial. Keep in mind we only cover the simple basics in this. Obviously the rulebook contains all the answers that you need to play the game. If you have any questions or comments that aren't answered here or in the rulebook, please feel free to email or PM a producer or director. We'll be happy to help. Keep watching the channel for updates or other movies, specifically makeup tutorials. Always fun to know how to do makeup, or epic battles. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you at an event. Have fun.